Good afternoon and welcome to News 6 Extra. I'm News 6 anchor Lisa Bell. Today is Thursday, October 9th, and we have a lot to cover today. I want to bring in our producer, Kathleen Whittingham, who is standing by following the very latest developments happening here in Central Florida and across the country. We're going to get to the weather, of course. Big breaking news coming up. Of course, beginning of the year, one of the biggest stories really around the world was the wildfires in California that we're specifically talking about the Palisades wildfire that decimated nearly 7,000 buildings, killed 12 people. Well, lo and behold, investigators have made an arrest now in that case. And the person they arrested was living here in Central Florida. So we're going to get the latest on that coming up. But we're also going to be talking about some other things that are happening here in Central Florida. Kathleen, are you a theme park fan?
I am. I am a pass holder, and I love the theme parks.
Okay, and where are you a pass holder?
Disney.
To?
Disney.
To Disney.
Yes.
Okay, and I know that they have different levels of passes.
Correct.
All different tiers, all different prices. Are you like the top level? Is it platinum? What do they call it?
No, I am not. I'm the Pirate Pass, which does have blackout dates, but you're able to go on the weekends. Where I believe it's the Pixie Pass, you can only go during the week. So
are
there's
you
different
ready
levels.
to dig deeper into your pockets, into your pirate pockets, and maybe look for a gold piece or something?
Right. Well, I have to, actually I'm up for renewal, I think next month. So I need to see, but if it's only going up, it depends, because you got to think with the Florida residents, you can spread it out and pay just one monthly fee each month. So if it's only going up, $10 or so a month, then I'm okay with it.
Okay, well, we're going to talk about that because prices are going up at Disney. We're going to break down some of those numbers for you. And also, of course, we love to talk about our Lucy's here on News 6 Extra. We each have a dog named Lucy. Yours is specifically Lucy Bell.
Yes.
My Lucy, her last name is Bell, but she just goes by Lucy. Do you think if you were in distress that your Lucy would turn into like a Lassie and rescue you?
I would hope so. I would like to think so. But I think maybe she would just stand there and bark instead. I don't think she would actually go and get help. I think she would just stand there and kind of panic and just bark a lot.
See, I think my Lucy would just lay down next to me and go to sleep, because that's just what she does. But we're going to have a really great story coming up. First, though, we do want to check in with meteorologist Michelle Morgan, who is standing by. Because once again this morning, when I was out and about, I've been dodging showers already. Michelle, how are things looking in the weather?
Well, there's still a few isolated showers and some downpours across the region, Lisa. We're going to continue to see that setup as we go through majority of today and also tomorrow. But I do have great news. The beginning of the fall season was on September 22nd, and it really hasn't necessarily felt like fall, which, we're used to. That's cool. But as we head into the upcoming weekend, we're going to feel, that fall-like weather heading our way, and it's all thanks to a cold front that will be slowly sliding through the area as we go through Friday into Saturday. But also, I do want to touch on what's happening right now across the region. So we are seeing some coastal flooding issues across the East Coast or along the East coastline because of strong northeasterly winds. And our tides, we call them king tides, is higher than normal, about 2 to 3 feet above normal at the moment. So when you combine that with the strong winds, it's pushing up that water along our coastline. And last checked, I looked at all the beach cameras, there's barely a beach. Now, we're going to be dealing with that type of setup as we go through the next couple of days, really just lasting into the weekend, those strong winds. But it is going to slowly begin to feel like fall as we head into our Sunday with our wake up temperatures in the 60s. So I am certainly looking forward to it. It is going to feel wonderful as we go through the weekend. And of course, that frontal boundary is going to clear out all of that moisture. So it's not only going to feel nice, the drier air is going to be upon us. So it's going to keep the moisture, the dew point levels manageable. So it's going to feel fantastic. As we take a look at the winds and the wind gusts across the region, they are howling out of the northeast between 5 to 20 miles per hour sustained, with stronger wind gusts of 25 miles per hour in a few locations. And it could get up to 30 miles per hour later on this afternoon. And of course, with that consistent onshore wind, that could continue to bring coastal hazards to our region as we go through the next several days. Now, the wave heights are between 5 to 6 feet. They could get a little bit higher, especially with the higher tides, and that's going to continue to cause some coastal issues. We have several advisories and watches in effect for our coastline. There's a coastal flood advisory in effect that will be through today, where onshore winds, the high tides, king tides will cause some coastal flooding, and the rip currents will remain high at least through Sunday. Now, coastal flood watch will remain in effect through Saturday night for the entire coastline that's highlighted in that lighter green, where just really dangerous beach as well as boating conditions are expected due to those strong winds, and those strong wind rip currents could be found near sandbars, jetties, piers, anything like that. So it is strongly recommended to stay out of the water. Taking a look at the latest tides here. Now, we already saw our high tide a few hours ago along Daytona Beach, and the water is significantly high at the moment, because when I saw the beach camera, you can't see any sand. The water is pushed up all the way towards the boardwalk. Now, it is expected to recede as we go through the afternoon hours, again in Daytona Beach, and the next high tide will be later on tonight around 10:30. Now, for Cocoa Beach, the low tide is happening right now. That'll continue through the afternoon hours, and then the high tide will be later on tonight. And then Flagler Beach, the high tide is scheduled for around 5 o'clock this afternoon. So you could see some road closures, especially with the water being pushed up on shore. Now, when it comes to the coastal hazards risks, the high rip current will remain high as we go through our Sunday. Winds will remain strong, as well as the coastal flooding, beach erosion. We are looking at a medium risk for that, and a few roads could become impassable. Now, taking a look at what's happening here across the region in terms of rainfall, looking at some scattered rain, seeing a few lightning bolts, so a few thunderstorms are beginning to get going. But notice how hit or miss they are. These are fast moving showers and thunderstorms, and we're going to continue to see this through majority of today, tonight, and also heading into Friday morning, and also lasting through Friday afternoon. Temperatures feels nice out there. It is windy. We're looking at 80s and upper 70s across the board. Your hour by hour forecast shows our temperature steady in the middle to upper 80s as we go through the afternoon hours, and then temperatures slowly cooling into the lower to middle 70s as we head into tonight. Now, your forecast highs for today, right where we need to be for this time of the season: upper 80s in Orlando, Wedgefield, Claremont, 85 in Titusville, Cape Canaveral and Melbourne, 87 in the Villages, and 83 degrees in Palm Coast, with a 40% coverage for showers and storms across the metro area. Now, as I mentioned, cooler fall-like air is on the way. The dew point trends here shows a significant dip as we head into our Sunday morning. So that's when we'll begin to feel that drier and cooler air moving in. So it's going to feel great as we wrap up the weekend. Now, the cooler mornings will begin Sunday morning, where we'll see our wake-up temperatures in the upper 60s. And I do think our wake-up temperatures will remain in the upper 60s as we head into the upcoming work week. Now, the last time we saw 60s was about 147 days ago. So 4 months ago, essentially, on May 16th of this year, where we saw our wake-up temperatures in the 60s. So it's been some time. So I'm really looking forward to that fall-like weather. I know a lot of us are as well. And then taking a look at the timing of the showers and the thunderstorms as we go through the next several hours. We'll continue to see hit or miss showers as we go through today, so make sure you have that rain gear ready to go. Later on this evening, we'll continue to see the same setup. a lot of models are hinting a tropical low will try to form off of our east coast, and that's going to continue to pump in that tropical moisture across central Florida. So it is going to continue to feel pretty humid as we go through the next couple of days or so before that cold front clears everything out. Now, the rain, it could get heavy, especially along our coastal spots. There's already a flood warning in effect for the St. Johns River near Astor. So we're going to have to watch that as well. And of course, when you combine the high tides, the strong winds, we could see some flooding in those neighborhoods. Rainfall forecast shows in the next few days, a few spots could pick up between 2 to 3 inches, locally higher amounts, but majority of central Florida picking up between 1 to 2 inches. This will be through Friday afternoon or Friday night, and then out to the west of the I-4 corridor, less than a quarter of an inch. So some spots could pick up significant amount of rainfall. Now, I do want to show you the moisture content here as we go through the next couple of days. There's that area of low pressure I was talking about forming off the coastline. That's going to continue to move to the north and east. That cold front slides through, pulling in that drier and somewhat cooler air that's indicated by all of that orange. And it's going to feel great beginning on Sunday, and that should last as we go through the next couple of days heading into next week. Now, your wake up temperatures, this is on Sunday. Many of us will be waking up in the 60s, but it will be breezy, but nonetheless, it will be a beautiful start to our Sunday. Now, switching gears to what's happening here in the tropics, I am monitoring Tropical Storm Jerry here. You could see it right here on your screen. It is looking pretty healthy as it approaches the Lesser Antilles, but the latest forecast shows it taking a turn as we go through tomorrow into Saturday, but it is going to bring tropical storm impacts to Barbuda, bringing those tropical storm heavy rain, strong winds, high surf to those islands as we go through Friday. Now, it is expected to become our next hurricane of the season as early as Friday evening with winds of 75 miles per hour. And then it looks like it's going to stay out to the sea here and completely missing Bermuda, and then it's going to go over cooler waters and then eventually dissipate. But the latest information, it has winds of 65 miles per hour moving to the west northwest at 18 miles per hour. So it has a good speed to it. And that's the only named storm that I am monitoring at the moment. So here's a look at your 7-day forecast. 40% coverage for on and off showers with a high of 87. Tomorrow we'll see a high of 83 with a higher chance for scattered rain and thunderstorms, and tropical downpours are possible. Heading into our Saturday, a few isolated showers are possible during the morning hours. Looking much drier Saturday afternoon with abundant sunshine, but breezy and a high of 82. And then after that, we're looking fantastic heading into Sunday, a high of 83. It'll be sunny, and look at those wake up temperatures in the middle to upper 60s at least through Wednesday morning, with our daytime highs a little bit below average in the middle 80s, Lisa.
All right. I know so many people are looking forward to those fall like temperatures. They're almost here,
Oh,
Michelle.
yeah.
Yes. Thank you. Well,
You're
as we
welcome.
mentioned at the top of News 6 Extra, the Brevard County man arrested and accused of intentionally starting California's deadly Palisades fire just appeared in federal court. This is the second appearance since his arrest. Investigators say Jonathan Rinderknecht started the fire while he was working in California as an Uber driver. A dozen people were killed in that fire and thousands of homes were destroyed. News 6's Mark Lehman explains how investigators were able to put the pieces of this case together.
This photo shows Jonathan Rinderknecht shortly after his arrest in Melbourne Wednesday morning. The 29-year-old is accused of starting a fire that eventually led to the January wildfire that ravaged California's Pacific Palisades, killed 12 people, and destroyed thousands of homes and businesses.
Today marks a significant moment in a long road to justice for our community.
Rinderknecht was an Uber driver working in California at the time. According to the complaint, he dialed 911 and while on the call, allegedly typed this question to ChatGPT: "Are you at fault if a fire is lit because of your cigarettes?" ChatGPT's response: "Yes." Prosecutors say investigators also uncovered other AI evidence,
including the defendant's ChatGPT prompt of a dystopian painting. That's an image he produced a few months before the fire started. It shows the city being burned.
If found guilty, Rinderneck could face up to 20 years in prison, and while authorities say they have a suspect, they don't have a motive.
I wish we could get into somebody's head, but we can't. And I'm not going to speculate or go into anything of that. Like, we have evidence of that will be addressed in trial, but evil people do evil things.
So that was our Mark Lehman reporting on that. Of course, that's going to be a case that we follow very closely in the months to come. Another big story we are following here. Florida is officially an open carry state, but when it comes to private property, the rules are up to those private property owners. And when it comes to your local Publix store, you may soon notice a difference there. As News 6's Osceola County community correspondent Laverne McGee discovered, Publix is now telling customers they can carry firearms in the open while they shop for their groceries.
I'm Laverne McGee, your Osceola County community correspondent. Have you ever been out grocery shopping and gone into the store and saw somebody openly carrying a weapon? That is legal, and different establishments now have the authority to decide who they let in and who they don't, who openly have a weapon showing, and that has some people nervous.
Open weapons just doesn't make sense.
Publix motto is where shopping is a pleasure. But retired fire paramedic Lieutenant David Murphy does not think it will be a pleasure seeing people walking around the grocery store with a weapon, even though it is now legal in Florida. His wife Irene agrees.
But I do have grandchildren. I would be alarmed if they saw people with a gun
In the grocery store.
Yes.
But not everyone we spoke with would be alarmed.
I mean, maybe we should all get one so we could be an even playing field.
Publix has 882 stores in Florida. Today, we contacted dozens of stores across Central Florida, even visiting a few in person.
The location at 2015 Edgewater Drive just told me yes.
Hours later, Publix sent out a statement saying it would follow state and federal law, but adding that customers are not allowed to create a threatening, erratic, or dangerous shopping experience. This adheres to Florida law, which prohibits people from carrying weapons in a, quote, rude, careless, angry, or threatening manner, not in necessary self-defense.
An armed society is a polite society. If you know everybody can defend themselves, it's like a craziness to turn, I guess.
I'm your Osceola County community correspondent, Laverne McGee, News 6.
All right, we are going to take a quick break now, but when we come back, we're going to tell you about a controversial new road that should connect drivers to the Orlando Sanford International Airport, but not everyone is happy about that. And then, of course, we'll be breaking down those new Disney price hikes. We'll be right back. Welcome back to News 6 Extra. I'm News 6 anchor Lisa Bell, and today we're talking about a new connector on the 417. A major decision today will change how drivers get to Orlando Sanford International Airport. The Central Florida Expressway Authority just voted on a preferred route for a new connector to that airport. News 6's Angie Casada shows us what was decided and why not everyone is celebrating this decision.
All those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Motion passes.
The Central Florida Expressway Authority making it official, approving Route 2A as the preferred option for a new 2-mile connector linking State Road 417 directly to Orlando Sanford International Airport. After more than a year of studying 5 different routes, CFX says 2A strikes the best balance, improving access while limiting impacts to homes and the environment.
Where we find ourselves with economic development as well as the development of the community itself and our international airport is, if this does not move forward now, it'll never happen. It'll be total gridlock in this area.
The project was first studied back in 2007, but put on hold until Seminole County asked CFX to revisit it in 2022. The goal? Cut traffic on local roads like East Lake Mary Boulevard and help travelers find the airport faster.
Huge. Sooner the better. Sooner the better. People from out of town, I know that they're no different than I am, maybe even people from the other side of Orlando. They don't fly out of here typically, and it's very hard to find.
But not everyone is on board. Some nearby residents worry about losing their homes or land, since the route could cut through part of a residential area.
We know it impacts people. We're sorry that it impacts folks, but typically, financially, these residents come out much further ahead.
The next step, design and environmental reviews, which CFX says will take several years before any construction begins. Reporting in Orange County, I'm Angie Casada, News 6.
All right, Kathleen, I want to bring you back in now because this story affects you directly as a Disney pass holder.
It does.
I know. And apparently a trip to the most magical place on earth will now be costing you even more. Disney World raising its ticket prices again. So for the first time ever, a one-day ticket to Walt Disney World during peak times will now set you back more than $200. That's a lot of money, Kathleen.
Oh, that is, especially if you have a family and you're trying to take, family of 4, family of 5, that's pricey.
Very pricey. And that, of course, doesn't include all the other additional costs like parking, food, everything else that also constantly seems to be going up. Now, for annual pass holders, which Kathleen is one of them, the cost is jumping anywhere between $20 to $80. So you were saying earlier if it was an extra $10 a month, you would be okay with that.
Yeah. I mean,
Yeah.
because they
Well, it
offer
looks like
that for Florida residents where you can put down a down payment and then you pay each month. So, for my pass, it's something like $60 a month, so.
Okay.
And parking's included. And so,
That,
I don't mind a slight increase, but I wouldn't want to pay, $50 more a month, say.
Right. What is parking now? Is it $40?
I believe
I'm being serious.
It's close. No, I think it's 25.
Really?
Right. I think it's 25 a vehicle, and then you can pay for preferred parking, which is a little bit closer, and so that's more.
Okay. I feel like I was just at SeaWorld and it was $40, but maybe that's just at SeaWorld, or maybe I was just confused. I don't know. So the price hike comes as some new attractions are in the works, including the Rock and Roller Coaster starring the Muppets. Are you familiar with that?
I have a little bit of beef about this because I love the Muppets. I have nothing wrong with the Muppets.
Right. They're super cute.
They are super cute, but they're not Aerosmith. And so I'm an Aerosmith fan. So I'm a little sad to see that Aerosmith's going away and the ride's going to be rethemed for the Muppets.
I wonder why they did that. Just to do something new?
I mean, maybe there's been rumors for years about them getting rid of Aerosmith and replacing Aerosmith with somebody, and they did just close down the Muppets 3D show. So maybe that's a way to kind of keep the Muppets in the park.
Yeah.
And
appeal to families and younger people maybe a bit more.
Correct.
So Disney has announced that that reimagined attraction will open sometime next summer, and no word on when the current version of the coaster closes. So get out there right now with your pass and take advantage of the lower prices and the ride while you can.
Right, exactly. I've got to ride it a couple more times before they close it, reimagine it.
Yes. All right. Now to a heartwarming story that shows why dogs are man's best friend, or in this case, a grandma's best friend. An 86-year-old woman who had fallen down was found thanks to one very smart dog. CBS's Christian Benavides walks us through the police body cam video that shows how the whole thing unfolded.
She never takes more than 10 or 15 minutes. It's almost an hour now. It's over an hour now.
A distraught husband called the sheriff's department in Okaloosa County to find his 86-year-old wife who was missing after taking the dog for a walk. Deputy Devin Miller gets in her car to search.
There's the dog. Hey! Hey, where's your mama?
And the dog leads her straight to the woman who had fallen on the sidewalk and couldn't get up.
Hey, man, can you tell me what happened? Oh, can you tell me what happened? Are you okay?
He wouldn't believe. He kept coming back to me.
He ran up to my car and I said, bring me to your mommy, and he ran back here.
He come up to your car.
Good boy.
Sweetheart.
Good boy. Very good boy.
I'm not even his owner. I'm his grandmother.
Oh, you're such a good boy. You're so good.
Oh, Eeyore, you're a good boy. Grandma loves you.
Good boy, Eeyore.
The woman is recovering thanks to her four-legged hero. Christian Benavides, CBS News.
By far the best story of the day.
Best story. And I love his name, Eeyore.
Eeyore! Yes. He should get a free annual pass to Disney, don't you think?
Oh, yeah. And definitely a lot of treats after that. That is awesome.
Yeah. By the way, Okaloosa County, that's in Northwest Florida. She was having a very rough day, and then Eeyore saved the day. So we love that. He is a sweetheart.
Oh, I love that.
Yeah. And as they pointed out, not even the dog's owner. That was the grandmother of the dog. But,
Correct.
They're so loyal. They're the best.
They're
All
very
right.
loyal and smart.
Yes. And my Lucy is smart when she wants to be.
That's true.
Yes.
They can be. Yeah.
Right. Well, thank you for that. And thank you for spending some time with us today on News 6 Extra. Of course, you can always get the latest headlines on clickorlando.com. And be sure to join us for our next newscast this afternoon, starting at 4.